I'm coming to you for a couple reasons today. One, I just spend, maybe 10 minutes with you and have a little talk. But two, yesterday I waxed a little poetic and I made some statements that when I listened to them, I want to be very clear. I am unwavering because Loafer Sheffield pointed out that, he's a nice guy. I've known this guy. I've known Loafer for a long time. I'm going to say 6 years. Salt of the earth, just an excellent fella. I'm going to say that morality is a good, firm moral base is what he is. He's a great fella. He's not going to harm the weak. He's going to help the helpless. And so it sounded like I was saying that, in fact, it didn't sound like I said, people that didn't believe in the God I believe in wouldn't be able to understand these mysteries, but it's not true. I don't think Bill Cooper, I know he went to church and he's not alive to ask. I'm not sure. Alex Jones, there's some of these people out there. In fact, I wish I could think, it's pretty early, and if I was thinking super clear, I'd come up with at least one name of someone that's hip to the scene, but is in no way a follower of what I would call the one true God. I have to say this, and Loafer, I'm not necessarily talking to you specifically, but I am talking for your benefit to explain my belief. A lot of Christians, evangelicals, whatever, they'll say, well, if you don't know God, if you don't know Jesus, if you don't say his name, you'll not be saved, because it says in the Bible there is no other name besides outside of Jesus that one can be saved by. That's true. But it doesn't mean that the person that's saved has to claim Jesus. Now, I hope that everyone will, but that's not what it means. It means that people like Loafer, when I see him in heaven, and he's looking around and going, Ogre, I'm here, and shit, I can't believe you're here, man. I didn't think you'd make it, and I didn't even believe in this place. I wonder how I got here. Loafer's going to find out that when people don't accept Jesus, they are judged by the light they live up to. It's clear in Scripture. Now, this is not a Bible study. I'm telling you what I believe. I'm not going to give you any evidence. This is belief. This is a faith. This is something that, faith is belief in the unseen and stuff that there is no evidence for. So I have to be very clear and very careful. I want to clarify. So there are going to be many people there that didn't think they were going to be there, didn't think it existed. There are going to be many people not there that were destroyed by the brightness of his coming, because this idea of hell as an eternally burning place where the devil's in charge and he's kind of poking the wicked with the pitchfork and turning them over to make sure they get cooked on both sides and all this, and it goes on forever and ever, and Cerberus is there and all the imps are there and they live forever. That's the devil's first lie. The first lie I ever told was, thou shalt not surely die. Listen, anyone that is not translated, resurrected from the dead at the second coming, or translated from their human body into their spiritual body, and goes back to heaven for the 1,000 years of review and look at why you're there and why others aren't. If you're not part of that band, you are destroyed when God brings the New Jerusalem back. If you're alive during that second coming and you're one of the quote-unquote wicked, you're destroyed there. And yes, you will be resurrected in 1,000 years when the New Jerusalem's brought back. And that's the point where every knee will bow. Everyone, even the devil, will bow down and say, I was wrong. Jesus is Lord. God is the ruler of all. And I believe that will be the end of wickedness. That morality will lose its definition, because everyone will be moral. If everyone is moral, there's no need to make a distinction. It's just like saying, you're breathing, you're being moral. I hope that clears it up. And I'm not one of these people that hasn't studied my Bible, that hasn't pondered the wonders of God's mercy. that hasn't taken time to say, no, I'm not an elitist. I'm not a member of some special club. There are people in this club that don't even know they're members. So I'm going to leave that at that and say I've just been listening to Michael Malice, his podcast, You're Welcome. I marathon, and I'll go like 3 or 4 weeks because, I got to cover time when I'm driving, and it's nice to be occupied in your mind. So I go 3 or 4 weeks, I'm going to listen to now marathon, 4 or 5 hours of Malice. He's great. Interviewing Shank Yogart, the big brown buffalo from the genocidal Young Turks. And man, I'm only just about halfway into it. As soon as I'm, done speaking with you, I'm going to go back and finish it. Michael Malice is up there. He is very good. I know what his stances are. He's interviewing this guy that's just coming at him with, and hey, Shank's not always wrong. Some of the things he says are absolutely right. Like when they start to discuss the corporate media versus mainstream media, and how, the media's not really mainstream. They go against the populace. They're just the corporate, their corporatocracy. The corporations own them. They are a corporation. They're in bed with these conglomerates, these giant ne'er-do-well corporations of destruction, death, and money grubbing. And he's just, the brilliance is in the way he interviews people. He's always finding common ground, and not even in a sneaky way where it's like, I'm trying to get you to agree with me. He will find common ground where he agrees with them. So there's no need for them to do any mind changing, at least in the beginning. And we'll see. The interview is going to go on, and I from seeing Michael in the past, he's not going to ramp up. He's not going to become confrontational or any other, nothing like that. What he's going to do is he's going to use logic and reason, and he's going to begin to ask more poignant questions. And eventually, Shank's going to leave with a very good feeling. He's not going to feel like he was in any confrontation, but he'll be exposed. He's already exposed it in this very, very excellent way. Michael Malice is a cousin of mine. He's a fellow Jew. I mean, he's a Jew among Jews. His parents came right from Russia. He's a Russian Jew. I mean, God, I can't even in the time when they came over, I can't imagine being, in any of those places where it was so hard for my cousins, and I'm talking about Russia, Hungary, Poland. It wasn't a great thing. Germany, of course, Austria, for whatever reason. And I do understand, I can't say it that way. The reason people hate us is because we stick together. Even myself, not a practicing Jew, I have a really good friend of mine who has a channel. I really don't want to go too far to David because he doesn't come out, he's not as vocal about it as I am. And I respect that. If someone doesn't want someone to know they're a member of the tribe, hey, that's their business. It's fine. But here's the simple fact. If I run into a Jew in my daily business, I always give preferential treatment to my cousin. Always. We go back to Abraham. We have a common ancestor in the fog of history. We've stuck together for these 4,000 years. The siege of Nicaea. I mean, the intifadas. I could go backward or forward in history to any time that I and my cousins have been around, and we've been treated like shit by the Philistines, by the world. We've been run off. We've been, the old wolf at the door. Oh, hey, send us out your children, your money. We want to eat your children. We don't want to eat your children. Now, we want your money, but I think that's more human. And the Scotch, hey, my wife's of Scotch ancestry, and daggone it, man, she'll squeeze a buffalo nickel till that thing don't only take a dump, he'll fall over dead. And she'll breathe life back in him, make him work some more, squeeze him again. So there's nothing wrong with being thrifty. What's the point? The point is tribalism and, you know, wanting to be a member, or I shouldn't even say it that way. Let me be careful how I choose my words. Tribalism and being born into a group of people and then wanting that group of people to thrive. Now, not at the expense of any other group, but wanting that group of people to thrive and wanting them to remain a cohesive group of people is not evil, my friends. I mean, you know, if the natives that live right here, coming up into Omaha, if the natives that live right here, where the Omaha Indians, what this is named after, if they would have stayed together, been more cohesive, man, we might be speaking.
In 2 miles, use the right lane to take exit 440 for Nebraska 50, 144th Street toward West Omaha.
Yes, Google. If they would have been more cohesive, we would probably be speaking Ojibwe. Well, you can hear Google's telling me my gas stop is rapidly approaching. So, remember this. Be good to your friends, be good to your family members, be good to your loved ones. Be quick to say you're sorry. Be even quicker to accept an apology, especially when that thing your friend, family member, or loved one has done seems to be so huge you'll never be able to forget about it. Because constant viewers, at a time you think not, your friends, your family members, your loved ones in your life will depart from you. Have a wonderful day.